Y'all already see the title. Y'all already see the thumbnail. I'm not gonna waste none of y'all time. So let's get straight into it.
There is an active debate going on between black men for many years. The debate is once a hoe, always a hoe. Now, many men can agree.
I always used to hear that. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think people can change. I think most people would never change. Like, I just want to just be straight up, at least in my opinion. I think most people will never change. They might act a certain way, but they never change who they really is. And I think that goes both ways too. Just man and women. Just people in general.
That a man can change his life. If you look at an ex-drug dealer, ex-gang member, ex-pimp, it's possible to see that person changing their life with a 180-degree turn. But on the contrary, most black men would not.
Exactly. Think about it. Most people that grow up in the hood, grow up with a certain surrounding, that taught to get money a certain way, they might get caught up eventually, take a case for somebody, so somebody else don't go to jail for super long. They get back out, they in that same surrounding. They not covered and being brought up by a village that's teaching them the right things. You know what I'm saying? They being taught death and destruction and take it and however you need to get it, and not teaching them emotional control, so they going off on anybody, any given, you know what I'm saying? But I'm already yapping a lot, and we early on in the video. Let's keep it going.
Not believe that a woman who was promiscuous could ever change her ways. Once a hoe, always a hoe. And a good person to take a diagnosis of would be Brittany Renner. You see, Brittany Renner was a crash.
One of the most famous ones. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes, let's get this out the way. She pretty as hell. She is pretty as hell. Most of y'all niggas, y'all already know she was knocking at y'all front door. Y'all is going crazy. Especially nobody, man, y'all going crazy. But you would know, like, if you smart, don't take that serious. Don't put yourself in that situation. And if you're really smart, you would just keep yourself out of that situation. Like, for me personally, I would say, yeah, she bad. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't hit based on certain circumstances because I just don't want to be near that type of energy. But she is bad. She is bad. I'm not going to lie.
Out. A person who used her body to get attention, a person who openly talked about sex and indulged in all kind of buffoonery and drunk alcohol on the internet. And then of course she did make a 180. She no longer dressed very sexual, she became a Muslim, and she even presented herself as an upstanding woman.
I have not been on a date since I've been Muslim.
She look cute as a little Muslim, I ain't gonna lie, with her little head covered. Kind of bring out her cheeks, bring out her lips a little bit, and her eyes. Y'all let me know what y'all think though.
Now, there have been plenty of married Muslim men in my DMs, and just because it's permissible does not mean I have to sign up for it. I didn't come this far to be one of several, so let's be very crystal clear on that. When you go without sex for an extended amount of time.
Oh yeah, because the Muslim people be having multiple wives and stuff. I always thought about that. On one end, I'm like, that's hard. Like, I ain't gonna lie, as a man, I'm like, that's hard having multiple wives. Y'all already know where my mind at. But even outside of that, like, you know what I'm saying, multiple helpmates, but I feel like you can get that without necessarily marrying a whole bunch of women, like this and that. But I understand the other circumstances of this. I mean, that's a whole bunch of women you can, you know what I'm saying, have intercourse with and stuff like that. But let me know what y'all think.
And you are honoring yourself in a way that you never have before, you really start to see where people are leaking their energy, where they lack discipline. And there's nothing more unattractive than someone who lacks discipline. I like my men disciplined and a little militant. So when you don't choose you, there could never be an us. A lot of men think, I need more.
I feel that's how most women operate. At least most women that want like a real man, like, you're not really gonna be able to back up, bro, unless you just really locked in on yourself, bro. You gotta be more focused on yourself than you focused on her. And it's really hard to do that sometimes, especially early on, when you find a girl that you really like. You be wanting to show her, like, I really like you, like, you can let her know, and you can show her, bro, but you know, as a man, boy, y'all be taking it too far sometimes, and you get off your purpose. You stop grinding. You stop doing the things that made you attractive in the first place. But I ain't necessarily trying to take no life, no life lessons from Brittany Renner. But let's keep hearing her out. Let's see what she's talking about.
More of something to feel more. Babe, you need to go deeper. The only thing that can quench.
As soon as she said, "Baby, you gotta go deep," I thought about that dick. I ain't gonna lie. Look, and she brought it up on herself. I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't look at that and say, "Oh, she talking about the mind and whoop." No, I'm looking. I don't care what she got on. I still see Brittany Renner, the one we all know. That's what I see. It could change in due time, but right now, no. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Lust is love. The only thing that can quench lust is love. Please understand that. And if you have so much love to give, and you ain't got no one to give it to right now, give it to yourself.
As we have heard Brittany Renner say, she's not open to being somebody's second wife. She's not open to having sex. She's living her life in purity. And I understand that, and give her a round of applause for doing that. But as of late, we've been seeing her hanging out with Kevin Gates. And that's something interesting.
I'm already know this probably going because I seen an interview she did with Kevin Gates years ago, maybe in 2021 or 2022, around that time. He was like shirtless and sweaty and stuff, and she was just, you could tell just how she was looking at him. Yeah, she was on go. She was definitely on go. I don't know. They should have told us if they bringing up Kevin Gates and she hanging out with Kevin Gates. And ain't he Muslim too? Y'all let me know if I'm tripping.
Resting in itself, because he's also a so-called Muslim. But how did we get here? It all started when Aaron the Plumber was on Erica Mena's show, and Aaron the Plumber was hating on some guys trying to get Erica Mena's favor. Once Kevin Gates saw that, he decided to crash out on Aaron.
I don't think he right for Erica. I seen him talking to another and they went upstairs. And what? Stop jumping in front. Stop jumping in front of my help me get this. You don't hurt me from getting this. Oh.
That nigga said, "Stop jumping in front of my." You don't stop me from getting this. You help me get this.
In front of my.
Oh my God.
Stop jumping in front. Stop jumping in front of my. Help me get this. You don't hurt me from getting this. Oh. If you would have walked off, I'd have been like, I ain't never seen my partner this happy. Whatever you doing, sweetie, just keep it up. You know what I'm saying? He really with you. You doing all these out behind a hole with kids.
Aaron the Plumber replied to that.
Alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuh. It's your Bradesky, Aaron the Plumber, Kevin Gates. I seen your video. All I could say is, I just try to be an entertainer. Same way you entertain on the internet, I try to entertain. I try to change the perception of these women. A lot of women didn't like me from Pop the Balloon. I was just trying to show that I stand on business behind my woman. Just because she's a single mother, that doesn't mean she's not qualified. Single mothers are qualified for me. I know most men don't like single mothers,
I ain't gonna lie,
but it is what it is.
I would expect the phone to react like that. Usually, Aaron be on that. But he probably smart to not do that with Kevin Gates, knowing how Kevin Gates be moving. So he played it smart guy. I'm not gonna hold it against him. Play it smart, bro. I always play your role, bro. I always play your role. Don't be worried about what nobody gonna say. At the end of the day, you the only one that's gonna make sure you survive in this life and move how you gotta move. So I just feel like this was a smart move how he came, but I wouldn't expect it for him to respond like this. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
It is Bradesky.
Kevin Gates, realizing that it was Ramadan and Aaron the Plumber was also a Muslim, responded nicely and talked about single motherhood in his own right.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm talking to Aaron. I got your message. I got your video, brother. I did not know that you was Muslim. I pray that you find it in your heart to forgive me if I was offensive. But I think what I said was misinterpreted. What I was saying is I want for my brother what I want for myself. What I was saying is I'm never going to get in nobody way or interfere with nobody from having their way with a beautiful woman. That's like if I see that the woman wants you or the woman wants somebody else and don't want me. Hey, she didn't choose me, so may the best man win. I'm not going to jump in front of that and try to stop that from happening. And then as far as what you said about the woman with kids, I don't have a problem with a woman with kids. I'll take a woman with 3, 4, 5 kids. I'm not tripping on that. They our kids now. But that's not my first prayer to God. I didn't say, God, please bless me with a beautiful woman that got children that's not mine.
In that clip, he talked
That's
about
not
the fact
mine.
that he don't mind having a lady that has kids, but he's not asking Allah to send somebody with kids. That's not his first prayer, because Kevin Gates would probably want to deal with a woman that didn't have kids. That's interesting because we'll need that information later on. Now, fast forward. Now, as we know, Brittany Renner pulled up to DDG stream with guess who? It was with Kevin Gates. And that's interesting because, well, they do have a little bit of a history. And remember when Brittany Renner saw Kevin Gates and finally met him, it was a lot of sexual tension.
Hi everyone, my name is Brittany Renner and I'm here with the one and only Kevin Gates. How you feeling?
Amazing. Hey, thank you. Hey, this I don't care if you get this on camera. I just want to say thank you for being an amazing person, always living in your truth. You inspire others silently. They probably don't want to admit it, but you know, you inspire me. Thank you so much.
And thank you. Let me tell you something. So my first Rolling Loud I did in 2019 is when I first saw you.
Yeah.
And you were actually, Will and I worked together, and you were the only person that I wanted to see the entire festival. And today in 2022, it still rings true. You were the only person I wanted to see.
Did you like what you saw?
I actually loved it. I actually love what I'm seeing now.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
Brittany Renner would go on to be in Kevin Gates' videos for music videos. They would hang out. They would be seen
I
together.
just brought that up earlier. She definitely was on go. So now that I know she messing with bro now, and she a Muslim, bro, I don't think Kevin Gates going for that. And I think he still got a wife. That just be bad. I don't think he going. Y'all think Brittany Renner is not giving that to Kevin Gates? Knowing this nigga personality, he not going for none of that. At least I could be wrong though. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. I could be wrong. Based on what I've seen though in the past, he ain't going for none of that. You giving that up. You know what I'm saying? With consent, of course, but I'm just saying, just how he moved, if he's still rocking with her there in music videos and how she acting towards him, I just don't see that. I just don't see it in my head that didn't happen. But y'all let me know what y'all think.
But it's interesting because Kevin Gates was married to Drika, and I believe is still legally married to Drika, although Drika Gates, his wife, is not following him.
Yo, why he doing that like he pushing her away? Oh, maybe that's like peace. He doing something like peace. My first thought was like he was pushing her in the sense like, man, I was like, damn.
Right now on Instagram. We also saw the two of them hanging out in the car, singing and stuff and enjoying each other's time. But this clip takes the bait.
You know, Babe about to read me a little bit out one of my favorite little books. You go back. Just pick anywhere. You can read me the subtitle. I just like how your voice sounds reading the words.
Nigga know he playing around. When a nigga look at the camera and say, you already know a nigga playing around, nigga.
You're retarded, babe.
That's how you tell some bitch more tell her read me.
That's how you wait.
I ain't say that, babe. But
That's how you
What's
wait?
taking so long, man? I'm trying
Oh, you trying to see if I could read for real, huh?
Please.
Babe, I'm a good ass reader.
Let me hear.
When I was in school, I would always be the one, me next.
Okay, why you ain't saying that right now?
Because I'm trying to see where it starts.
Come on, I'm paying attention.
The single most important practice in Stoic philosophy. Did I say that wrong?
You
So how you say it? Say
it.
Stoic.
Crazy.
Now, mind you, I believe in the car they might have been holding hands and stuff like this, but they're laying in the bed, they are reading, and Brittany Renner, who's supposed to be a Muslim woman, should not be having Kevin Gates in the same bed as her, but it's okay. I understand they're both celebrities, so the rules can be probably bent because they're both black.
Got it!
But if we go back to that initial interview, you can see that Brittany Renner was enamored with Kevin Gates, okay? And she was so excited. She loved what she saw, and she was infatuated with this man. And she's always been infatuated with this man. So what does that really tell us, guys? Well, Brittany Renner may be a great Muslim lady for everybody else. She might not want to date anybody else or be a second wife to anybody else or even be promiscuous with everybody else. But that doesn't mean she won't be promiscuous to Kevin Gates, because the Kevin Gates,
Cause Kevin Gates probably still married to old girl, I think legally, like he just said in the video. And he be, you know what I'm saying, Kevin Gates might get around here now, just based on, public knowledge. I don't be on the internet too much, but just based off public knowledge. But she going for him. That's a clear example of, bro, it just take the right guy, bro. It don't matter what rules she got set, bro. Them hoes will get broke for the niggas she really like. It ain't no rules and no. You try all that wade and whoop-de-whoop. You should, that should already tell you what it is, and then you go about it accordingly the way you feel need to. Cause she a Muslim now, she ain't doing this and that whoop-de-whoop. And she got, not with just no different, no random. She got with Kevin Gates. Everybody know how he moving. Come on. Y'all let me know what y'all think though. Am I wrong? Do you disagree with how, you know what I'm saying? Are you rocking with her? I ain't against her. I'm just calling cap on this. I'm pure now and woo-doo. I'm just calling cap on that. But y'all please let me know what y'all think. Tell me anything. I promise you I'm not soft. You know what I'm saying? You can say whatever you want. Just don't say nothing too crazy to where YouTube is going to take your comment down. You know what I'm saying? As long as YouTube don't take it down, I'm going to let it stay. I might even respond. You know what I'm saying?
Gates, it doesn't matter if she's a Muslim. It doesn't matter if she's a Christian. When it's Kevin Gates, she's going to give up those cheeks. Booty clap yourselves. And you guys need to understand, this is how it's going to be for a lot of ladies you come across. Right. Not everyone. We don't want to say everybody, but it would be a lot because there's always one person who has access. Story time music. There was this chick that was a really devout Christian that I liked. I'm talking about she is bad. Not was bad, still is bad. Stupid fat booty, feminine, beautiful. I mean, just gorgeous. I could not get to first base with this chick at all. Me and every other guy in Africa, right? Just ain't got a chance. But the pastor always had a chance. You would see that she would post him, she would post his ministry, she would post everything else. And the guy wasn't like exceptionally rich or exceptionally, I would say maybe handsome or whatever like that.
And probably because he was the one that was in her ear. He was the one that was talking to her in church. You know what I'm saying? She listening to him talk. She locked in on what he talking about.
This is normal guy.
Usually pastors be married too, so hopefully he ain't leading with this is about to be the pastor, man. I don't know.
But the reality was that he had her ear. So to the rest of the people that she wasn't interested in, there was no way that anybody else could get that box. But for that pastor, he was able to get those cheeks and everything else, even her tithing money. And this is kind of what I want guys to understand when you're dealing with ladies and they have some sort of boundaries or certain sort of rules. A lot of ladies might hit a guy with something like the 90-day rule, or I'm not doing this until marriage. And I'm not saying that that can't happen for a lot of ladies, or, that might not be the truth. But the reality is there's always a guy that don't have to follow those rules. Sometimes it's you.
Nigga, I just said that. And like he just said, sometimes it's you. I advise if it's you, you better get up out of that, nigga. Ain't no rules. Ain't no rules. My nigga. Ain't no rules.
Sometimes you don't have to follow those rules. A lot of times you do have to follow those rules. And if they like you a lot, they will bend those rules for you, and you'll be able to do that, and they'll go ahead and they'll live their normal life in hypocrisy as if nothing is happening. You mean to tell me that if Kevin Gates wanted to clap Brittany Renner's cheeks, he could not? She would say, "Oh no, we can't do this because I'm Muslim." Wrong. she probably wouldn't do that. She's probably
Any hood nigga know that they have heard that situation. If it's a girl that's breaking rules with you, you have heard that statement before. Oh no, I can't because blank blank blank. Oh no, we can't because you know what I'm saying, we shouldn't be, man, listen. And sometimes you might be on that, maybe you not, you know what I'm saying, maybe you're not even on that, but I'm just saying, any nigga that's got the rules broke for them and you understood what it was, you didn't heard that statement at some point in your life. It could have been when you was a youngin', could have been when you were a little older. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Does the shoe fit for y'all or do it not? You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know.
very attracted to the guy, and they probably have done that before. So what would be the reason why she wouldn't do it now? And if Kevin Gates is still legally married, then Brittany Renner is committing a sin because she's dealing with a man that's married. But it don't matter.
Y'all get the point. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He makes incredible videos. He a funny guy. Great content. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Subscribe, like the video, binge the rest of the videos on the channel. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Until next time, stay blessed. Peace.